extinguishers. As a few men are burnt by the flames, Victor tells the group to leave the compartment and let the weapons burn. More officers are severely damaged on their way out, but the rest of the crew is there to help them cross the door, closing it at the last second to stop the fire from following them. By manipulating the pressure in the torpedo compartment, they finally put out the fire. Afterward, all the healthy men are sent to do repairs while the wounded people are sent to the infirmary or their rooms. Oscar and Julia help them treat the men's injuries, earning the crew's trust. Julia also takes care of Victor's forehead cut, and an officer wonders if she's into him. When Julia denies it, the officer informs her that Victor broke the rules to save her. Later, Victor asks the crew's opinion on the situation, and they all agree they have to go back because they have no clue of the other submarine's location and no protection against the Kraken. Olshansky reminds Victor that his father was a hero for saving people during a submarine incident, but he died in the process. After lots of hesitation, Victor agrees they should go. While the submarine starts making its way home, Victor reads the last letter his father left him. He's interrupted by Julia, who notices there are birds in Victor's room. He explains there is a way to check on the oxygen levels. Julia asks for a map and points at all the locations where they saw the Kraken plus her camp. Stories say that this beast attacked many ships in the past only to suddenly disappear, thus scholars theorize that the Kraken went into a deep slumber. She concludes that her explosives hit a hidden lair and woke the Kraken up. If they want to survive, they must turn off the sonar, otherwise it'll attract the creature again. Since Julia seems to understand the Kraken so well, Victor asks if she knows where his brother's submarine is. Julia explains that octopuses usually drag their prey to their lair, which should be located where her camp used to be. Their conversation is interrupted by an officer announcing he's found a clue. He plays a recording from the moments they spent in silent mode, and everyone can hear a sound of something knocking on metal. They track the signal and confirm it comes from Julia's camp, which means the other submarine may have survivors. Victor gives a speech about the importance of saving human lives and the dangers they're about to encounter, then he orders his men to take the submarine to Julia's camp. During the trip, Victor thinks about his childhood and the day he got lost in the mountains. He only snaps out of it when they reach the search area. Suddenly rivets start flying off machines and walls all over the submarine, breaking glass and lights. This means they're too deep, so they make the submarine go higher. An officer then notices that they've found a bottomless abyss, and Victor wants to send the mini-submarine to investigate. Since one of the pilots was hurt during the attack, Victor volunteers to take his place and leaves Olshansky in charge. The mini-submarine leaves with Victor and 2 officers. They can hear the metal cracking as they search the abyss because it's never gone down this deep. The pressure soon starts taking its toll on the vessel, so if they don't find something quickly they'll have to go back. When they hear an echo, they head in that direction and discover hundreds of sunk ships, which means Julia's theory and the myths were right. Eventually they find the other submarine and notice all the damage it's received. Thankfully the nose is still intact, which means survivors may be hiding there. The team tries to dock the mini-submarine on top of it, which is harder than it looks because of the strong currents. After lots of struggle, they manage to make the connection. Then Victor puts on diving gear and crosses the connection. He knocks on the other submarine before opening the hatch, and he's delighted to discover that the crew has survived, including his brother Alexander. They send the news to the main submarine and everyone celebrates. Alexander explains he left the submarine in silent mode since they were captured and only sent a signal every now and then to avoid getting the Kraken's attention. Victor sends as many survivors into the mini-submarine as they can fit, but it's clear they'll need 2 trips to save them all. He decides to stay with his brother, and a mechanic will take over the last pilot's place. The mini-submarine installs a tracker on the main nose so they can find the location when they come back, but they have to turn it off when they realize it may get the Kraken's attention. When the mini-vessel finally takes off, the whole submarine wreckage shakes, but thankfully it doesn't fall. Soon they reach the main submarine and immediately start taking care of the survivors. The replacement pilot is too sick to do another trip, so Julia asks Oscar for help. Oscar has experience working in submarines and agrees to go. While the mini-vessel takes off, Olshansky sees on the radar that the Kraken is moving again. Meanwhile, Victor and Alexander decide to retrieve the weapons that their superiors asked for. They enter the destroyed submarine area and find the codes in the safe. However, when they try to use them on the computer, the system won't respond. Victor refuses to give up, and after trying tons of buttons, he finally manages to turn on the computer and is happy to see that the weapons are still functional. The resulting electromagnetic pulse is picked up by the mini-submarine, which starts following it. Back in the main submarine, the crew is terrified to see the Kraken getting too close. They rush to land the submarine on the seabed and enter silent mode. The Kraken pushes a big rock that hits the submarine, and soon the rivets are flying off again because of the pressure. Water starts flooding one of the compartments, so the crew doesn't know if they'll be able to keep silent mode for long. At the same time, the mini-submarine makes it to the wreckage, and when they're in the process of docking, they accidentally hit the tracker and turn it on. The Kraken is about to attack the main submarine, but at that moment it senses the tracker and starts swimming back to its lair. Olshansky immediately orders the crew to use this opening to return to the surface. In the meantime, Victor crawls through a pipe so he can reach the weapons in the torpedo room, which was blocked by the wreckage. Alexander hears the mini-submarine dock and tells his crew to go aboard while he waits for his brother. Eventually Victor reaches the weapons room and starts inputting the codes into the torpedoes while Alexander does the same on the computer. The weapons will take a while to load, which gives the Kraken enough time to find them. The crew braces for impact while the tentacles start closing around the submarine. The brothers talk on the radio and apologize for their past fights. The Kraken manages to tear off half of the submarine but, thankfully, is the empty tail. When it's about to attack again, the brothers coordinate their moves and press the buttons at the same time to finally start the weapon. A very powerful explosion heats the beast and causes it to explode, resulting in a huge beam of light that breaks through the Arctic ice and even reaches the atmosphere. With the water now flooding the submarine, Victor rushes back through the pipe to reunite with Alexander. The weapons will self-destruct soon, so they need to move fast. The submarine starts sinking and strong waves hitting the corridors cause the brothers to split. Victor searches for Alexander and finds his hand popping out of the water. He grabs it and pulls until Alexander is safe with him again. They hurry to climb the stairs and get in the mini-submarine, closing the door before the water can follow them. With only 2 minutes left for an explosion, the mini-submarine fails to undock. As the wreckage starts falling down the abyss, Victor remembers the emergency lever and pulls it, which allows the mini-submarine to finally disconnect. They take off right before the weapons explode and the shockwaves send the mini-submarine rolling through the sea. On the surface, the main submarine is waiting for news. They are about to lose hope when they see some bubbles in the water. It's the mini-vessel, which has finally returned. While everyone celebrates, Victor tries to give Alexander their father's watch, but Alexander tells him to keep it because he's earned it. Sometime later, the crew arrives in Russia and the brothers can finally reunite with their family. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.